Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my first impressions look on a brand new shoe. This is Keldon Johnson's shoe and it's called the Blade 6 Pro. It retails for 105 bucks and I've never heard of this Chinese company. It's called QD Sports. So yeah, it's super random. And actually, I was surprised at the amount of people that actually wanted me to get this shoe and review it and see what the shoe is all about. So I was like, I've never even seen this shoe or company before, so I was like, okay, I'll try it out, you know. So yeah, if you guys do want to call, I'll try to leave a link in the description box. 105 bucks is actually pretty damn cheap. But let's get it started off with the Tracciones. In this colorway we have a solid white rubber outsole, and it's kind of like a very aggressive kind of herringbone traction pattern, like here in the middle of the forefoot, and then around that it's kind of like a waffle pattern a little bit, right? And then here in the heel, I guess that's their logo. It just looks like a knockoff Jordan logo to me, honestly. You know what I mean? Like, you get some fake Jordans, and then that's kind of what the logo looks like. That's what it looks like. I don't know about it. You know, it looks kind of weird. But anyways, how does the traction feel on my wood floors? It feels pretty damn good. It has a nice little bite and also has a nice little squeak as well. Not super loud, not super high pitched, but it does have a little bit of a squeak. So I feel like the traction has some promise to it. You know, obviously performance on dust we'll have to see, and I'm gonna need to play in it, of course, but right now on my wood floors it's actually feeling pretty good. And also for durability, you should be fine, right? Like I always mention, Chinese companies, their demographic in China, most people I heard play on an outdoor court, right? So they have to make their rubber outsoles very durable, as opposed to like Nike. Nike I feel like is the worst at this, but yeah, Under Armour, Nike, Adidas, all of them, they give us like freaking nub patterns, you know what I mean, which just rip off on the outdoor court. But anyways, they're basically calling this abrasion resistant rubber. So, and also the rubber seems very, very hard. The grooves are thick and also deep. So outdoor you should be fine, right, for durability. So there is the traction there. And then here in the middle of the outsole we have a plastic midsole chain plate, it looks like. And we got some Chinese on there. So I'm not Chinese, so I can't read that. But, and also on Famuji, there's not a whole lot of tech specs on it, but it's a midfoot chain plate, right? And now moving on to the heel to toe transition, honestly it feels very smooth and very nice so far. So here in the heel we have a nice little rounded shape here, although here in the back of the heel, like right here, it is a little caged with this plastic. And it's not a huge deal, right? And there's still very, very nice compression here in the heel. And then in the forefoot we have a very nice curved shape, look at that, and also a lot of forefoot flex. So overall it feels super smooth. There's not a whole lot of like spring back though, like springiness, like for example like the Wild 10 with the full length carbon fiber plate. It's more like flexible, but that helps the shoe feel overall smooth, which I do like. Alright, moving on to the cushioning setup. So the foam has a very interesting name. So it looks like Boost though, right? It looks like Boost. And I guess like it's basically a P-Bax foam, and it's super soft. It's super duper soft, but it literally says Q Kung Fu Turbo, and that bro, it says Q Kung Fu Turbo. I don't know if you guys can see that. It says that literally here on the medial side on the foam, and it says that that's the foam on their website for the tech specs. So nice. Wow, Kung Fu foam? Really? That's so stereotypical, man. But anyways, Q Kung Fu Turbo Foam. How does it feel? It feels really nice. It's actually super duper soft. It's a lot of compression here in the heel, but it's not like too soft, right? It also feels like there's a little bit of rebound back. It actually feels pretty similar to Boost, but it feels like there's a little bit more rebound back, and it feels like there's a little bit more like springiness to it, which I do like. But also the foam feels like it's a little bit more on like the higher density side of things. You know, like there's like Boom, which feels super lightweight, right? But then this feels a little bit more on the heavier side of things like Boost, but like I said, it feels very, very soft. I do like it here in the heel. And as far as the insole goes, the insole is actually just like a regular insole, I would say. You know, it adds a little bit of step-in comfort. And then underneath that, the strobe board is actually like, it's a regular strobo board, but it doesn't feel like they glued it down like that much or use like super stiff glue or something like that. So when you press it with your fingers, there's actually a little bit of give, you know. And also for step-in comfort, you can feel the Q Kung Fu Turbo foam underneath your foot. So that feels pretty damn nice. So actually for $105, guys, the foam, the cushion actually feels really good. And honestly, that's like the thing that most companies cut back on when they're trying to make a budget shoe. You know what I mean? Obviously the quality of the materials, but also the cushion. So, you know, Nike would just give us Phylon in like a really small, crappy zoom unit. Same thing with Adidas. But yeah, the cushion for $105, I feel like you can't really beat this. You're getting very good tech for the cushion for the price. So I do like that. The core feel, however, isn't the best, it feels like. You know, the heel is a little bit high up off the ground. I would say it's around average, maybe a little bit higher than average here in the heel. The forefoot, it gets a little bit lower to the ground and there is a little bit of an offset, but the core feel, I would say it's not the best, right? All right, moving on to the material. So we have like a textile material, and I do like this black and white colorway that we have going on. It kind of reminds me of like the suit and tie, right? And it has that really cool like duality look to it, which I love. So here in the toe box, it's super soft, right? It's very, very comfortable. It conforms to your foot very well, but also feels very supported. There's not a whole lot of stretch to it. Also here around the toe box, we have a little bit of fuse for extra durability and support. And you know, it feels great on foot, right? And then here in the midfoot, it stays like pretty thin, but also feels very rigid and supportive as well. The laces, however, feel super cheap. It's like a tapeworm, like flat lace. And it feels super cheap, and also like the quality of the material does feel a little bit on the cheaper side, but it's not terrible, right? And then for the tongue, we have an average amount of padding, and it's also half booty construction tongue, so it does add for a little bit of like coziness on top of your foot. And then here in the ankle area, I would say it's very, very minimal padding, right? So very minimal. It's not super cozy here in the back of the shoe. So overall, I do like how it feels on foot so far, although it does feel a little bit, you know, on the cheaper side of things. But honestly, it's not that big of a deal because of the cheaper price tag in my personal opinion, right? All right, moving on to the fit. I went true to size and it fits me extremely well, right? So lengthwise, my toes go like pretty much right to the edge of the shoe. So if you don't like that, probably go up half a size, but I like to have a very snug fit lengthwise and also in the toe box. So that feels good for me going true to size. Also here in the toe box, I would say it does scrunch up a little bit. Look at that, right? When you tighten up the laces here, it does scrunch up a little bit. So it's not super roomy, but it is like maybe like regular fit, you know, like as far as like the toe box goes. I'm not a huge fan of that just because I like to have a very snug fit here in the toe box in my personal opinion. So, but if you want like a more relaxed fit, then this is a good option. Also width wise, I would say it's around normal width as well. So overall, it's a pretty good fit for me. And now moving on to the support and lockdown, it feels like it's gonna be pretty damn good, right? So we have this plate going along the lateral side. It's just plastic. It has this pretty cool design on it. It's like a triangle pattern on it. So it starts here in the forefoot. It comes up to act as a sidewall and dips in to the cushion a little bit, probably to the cage, the foam, because this foam is actually really soft. So you don't want it to be super soft here because it'll be laterally unstable, right? And then here in the heel, it kind of comes up again to act as a sidewall, and so it kind of acts like an external heel counter a little bit, but just more like on the lateral side here in the heel. It also feels like there is an internal TPU heel counter as well. So lateral containment feels like it's going to be good, and also like I said, this material does feel pretty supportive. And also lateral stability feels like it's going to be good. You know, it's not a crazy outrigger, but there is like it does protrude out a little bit as far as the foam goes, and also this plastic piece. So lateral stability feels like it's gonna be pretty good. And now moving on to the weight of the shoe, yeah, I feel like it's gonna be on the heavier side of things, maybe like 13 ounces maybe. Yeah, 13.51 ounces. That's not super heavy though. And let's check the other shoe. 13.65 ounces, right? So the average weight of my shoes is around 12.5 ounces, so like an ounce heavier. It's not a huge deal, but you definitely, it's not like the lightest shoe, obviously, right? But it's super comfortable though, right? The materials, it conforms to your foot extremely well. And then the cushion, like I said, is super soft. Hopefully it's not too soft though, to the point where it feels mushy when I play in it, but right now it's feeling pretty responsive so far. And as far as the aesthetics go, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan, honestly, but I really like this colorway. So I feel like the colorway, like this shoe that I have right here, it made kind of like the shoe. It made me like it a little bit more, right? But the other colorways that are out, not a huge fan of the silhouette, not a huge fan of the overall design. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, $105. this shoe is feeling pretty damn good, and it might be a new like super nice budget shoe, right? Or a bang for your buck shoe as well. So yeah, I'm pretty damn excited to play in these, and they feel really nice so far, and my first impressions of these shoes are really good. But anyways, that about concludes my video on the Blade 6 Pro. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I try to leave a link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.